Da, 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 da. You guys know what it is. It's the Rogue One coming out tomorrow. Everybody's very excited, and we're at Revell, the official model makers for Star Wars Rogue One. They, of course, cover the last Star Wars movie as well. You can see all of the vehicles there, and we're going to find out how to make these guys. It's so cool! So I want to introduce you to my friend Lou. And what is your position here at Revell?
I'm the general manager.
The general manager.
Yes.
So we went straight to the top for this.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. So I want you to walk us through then each of these models that you guys have. And I mean, they look just like the different vehicles that we're going to see in the movie coming out tomorrow.
That's exactly right, because this comes directly from the movie itself, right? So for all the props that are used in the movie, this is how we start designing the models, right? And so we've got 3 new ones for the Rogue One movie.
Okay, and you work directly with Disney, right? So how does this whole process break down then?
Right, we work directly with Disney. They send us scans of the props from the movie.
Okay.
Right, and then we use that and we put it into our computers, and our engineering team here decides how to cut it up and break it up into a bunch of different pieces. Right, and we go through a process then of designing piece by piece, right? So we capture all the detail because we're working directly with the props from the movie.
That is so neat. I'm going to say that's so cool, by the way, about 50 times. Let me introduce you to Jeff over here. And Jeff, so tell me what we're looking at here.
So on the screen right now, that's actually the 3D CAD model that we developed using the photographs and the scan data that we got from Disney.
Okay.
The movie. It's basically, this is our engineering model. This is what we create once we get all of that information, and it has all of the parts that go into this are all captured in here. You can kind of see that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Completely exploded all the individual components, and then back into an assembly.
Okay. So what did you go to school for then?
Engineering.
I mean, because I've got a friend who's an engineer, and she does transportation.
Sure.
And so, what specific type of engineering? Because there's not like model engineering.
Well, I mean, actually, technically, my degree probably isn't this type of design. My degree is in manufacturing engineering.
Okay.
But it's all related to mechanical engineering, and that's what all this is. Understanding how molds work and how injection molds work and how to design parts for assembly and fits and.
This would be a dream job, I think, for a lot of people, especially Star Wars fans.
I've got to say, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
They're an elective on Star Wars modeling. Right?
They could. It would be just as popular as that class they taught a couple years ago about Beyonce. Yeah. I think it would be like hand in hand. Yeah. Okay. So then from this, you decide, or do you have it and then the computer breaks it down into pieces?
No.
Or do you figure that out?
So what we wind up usually starting with is a lot of photographs and some scans of their studio props, which are sometimes not all that great quality, but what it does is it gives us overall proportions. This all basically has to be created from scratch. So we've got engineers will sit down and basically start putting this together, the overall shape, make sure that we've got it right, then start breaking it up piece by piece. And the more and more you get into it, I mean, if you look, there is just an insane amount of details in a product like this. Like the amount of little nooks and crannies, every single one of those things is put in there by a design engineer working off of photographs and movie clips and whatever reference we can get to try and make it as close of a duplication as we can possibly make.
And how many pieces does this particular vehicle have? This is this one, right?
35.
The Imperial Star Destroyer.
I'm sorry, 46. Look on the back
46 pieces.
Yeah, 46 pieces.
Okay, because if you look at that and you look at that, it looks like there should be a lot more than 46 pieces. I'm just saying. I'm not an engineer by any means, but...
Well, I mean, these are intended to be a little bit more on the simple side. I mean, we're targeting kids in the 8-year-old range, and we want to be able to make it so they can be successful. Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing is I mean, we're trying to get as much detail as you can possibly get into. So what he's showing you here is some of the prototypes that we did along the way as we were developing it.
Okay, so again, you guys, these are the prototypes that they worked with in order to get to the final product, right?
Right, so you go from what you saw on screen.
Okay, so we go from here.
So you go from what's on screen,
here.
and then you start printing things out here. And you can tell there's not really any detail on here.
Right.
On this surface, it's very smooth and flat. And then the engineers come in and they draw in and they design in all the lines that get added in there. And so then you can see the difference how.
Right.
And that's actually just the second generation prototype, and then your final is actually over here. So
Okay.
all of it, it's a progression. You add
Right.
details as you go along. And the thing is we're targeting the younger kids, the 8-year-olds on this particular product line. But we want to get as much detail in there as possible, so that way the modelers are also still interested in this thing. If you take this thing and you weather it up and do some detail painting work on it, it's really an amazing looking piece.
I'll bet. And you can make it any color you want, like pink or purple.
You could, but
or you could do it just like
I
movie.
think traditional modelers are looking for authenticity, trying to get.
But
it
it's
as
that
close as
gray
possible.
color, though, right? That they are in the movie.
Yeah, right.
That's
yeah.
not exciting to everyone, Jeff. I want to talk to you about The Force Awakens, the vehicles that you guys put out for that movie, because I think people might be interested in that. Maybe, can you walk me through some of those, Lou?
Sure. So
Okay.
these are the models we had. Turn around.
Okay. Hey, everybody.
All right.
Okay.
So we had 4 models from last year from The Force Awakens, Millennium Falcon, TIE Fighter, and so you'll probably recognize some of these. These were for 6-year-olds, so they're a little bit easier to put together. There's maybe 20 pieces, 15 pieces that snap together. They all have lights and sound.
Turn you guys around so you can see these, because they're so cool. The lights and sound is my
Lights and sound.
favorite.
Where's it on?
Wow. Do that one again for me. Sounds like someone's screaming inside.
Exactly.
Ooh. Just
right.
like the movie.
Exactly. So yeah, there were 4 from last year, and the Millennium Falcon is an iconic
Oh yeah.
ship. So it was great for the little kids, for them to be able to put together, but also the enthusiasts, the adults like them as well.
Yeah. This guy's my favorite, the AT-ACT.
The AT-ACT.
I love
So this is from
him.
Rogue One. This has lights and sound also. And
It's
this
like
is
you're in the movie.
this is also pretty iconic. The Star Destroyer. This is new. This will be in Rogue One as well.
Okay.
This you saw in the original movies, and this has got lights and sound.
Oh. That is so cool. I love that.
And then this is a ship we've never seen before. This is first time debuting in the Rogue One movie. This is called the U-Wing. And it's got a couple pilots in there. I don't know if you can see them, but they're in there.
Hey
flying
guys,
it.
what's up? I can see them.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take a closer look at the pilots in one of the other models too. Oh, can you see them from this
Yeah,
side?
a little window underneath. I don't know if you can get in there.
I think I can. They're so tiny.
And the wings move. Oh, we got
Wow.
cockpit lights up.
Doesn't look like there's a lot of space in there. Not enough room for my pairs of
pretty
shoes
tight,
if I
yeah.
were fitting in there.
Parachutes.
That's right. Next time you design one of these, I want a full closet in case I was traveling in there. Cool. That is so
All right.
neat. And then how much do these typically run?
Yeah, so retail prices are $19.99 on all of these from Force Awakens, and then these 2 on the ends are also $19.99, and this guy in the middle will be $29.99.
So that's so affordable for everybody.
That's
I love
the idea.
that. Yeah.
That's the idea. We're trying to get
That
the
is
kids
so
back
cool.
into modeling.
Yeah.
And then down here, these are a little
Oh.
more advanced models
Okay.
that you're looking at. So this is a little bit older age grade, right? So it's a little more difficult to put together, but there's going to be more detail in the product. These all snap together. You don't need paint. You don't need glue,
Mm-hmm.
all right? But if you want to decorate it pink, you can do that.
I love that. I like the way we're going
All right?
with that. Yeah.
And then down here, these are ones that you have to glue together and paint. So this is real high end, what we call the Master Series.
That's Luke Skywalker, isn't
That's
it?
Luke Skywalker's
Yep, there he
X-Wing
is.
fighter, exactly.
We've been looking for him all this time.
Yeah.
Because while we were waiting for, is he in the new movie? I don't even know if he's in the new movie because it's
I don't
before
know.
everything takes place,
before
right?
every-
It's the
right.
first one.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, probably not. But in case you were wondering where he is, he's been right here the whole time, sitting at Revell inside that little vehicle. Oh, and this guy's so cute too. I love him from the movie.
Yeah, it's BB-8.
Awesome. Here he is again. That is so fun. I love that. Okay, so let's get to the Rogue One then
Okay.
series because I think that's what everybody's going to want to see.
Okay.
Are there any new vehicles for this?
So these are the ones we've been looking at. So for our
Okay.
our assortment, we have the 3 new ones, and you can get an idea here of some of the parts that,
So-
that break out.
I keep asking a lot of questions, but
That's
how
good.
is this one different than that one over there on the shelf?
It's the same.
It's the
It's the
same.
same.
Okay.
Yep.
Are there any new vehicles though? Like there was that one that you were showing me from The Force Awakens.
Yeah. So the new one here is the U-wing that we were just looking
Okay.
at.
Oh,
So
okay.
This is brand new for this movie, all right,
Okay.
that we've never seen before.
Oh, I gotcha. All right, I
Right.
was confused about
Yeah.
that. Okay. That is so cool. Have you guys ever done any little Princess Leia's?
I don't think we have.
Driving any of the
That's a good
vehicles?
idea. Maybe we
I
should
think
do
so,
that.
because
There you go.
you know
It's a
the
good
little
practice.
buns is just kind of fun, and
Yeah, right.
you know the gold bathing suit. I know she wouldn't necessarily wear that to drive anything, but you know just an added touch. So think about that.
We'll put that in our crack development meeting.
All right, so can we put one of these together?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let our resident expert work on
All
one
right.
of these.
Do you want to hold this and maybe he can
Sure.
show? Okay. Actually,
we
is this
going?
how we do it? Let's see. That way, and
Going
then
that
can
way?
you see me?
I got you.
Hi.
Yeah,
Okay, so
all
you
right.
can show me then, Jeff, how to do this.
I'll come on this
So
other side.
most of this all here is
Roll
pretty-
up my sleeves.
It's all pretty simple. I mean, everything is snapped together, so no glue, like Lou was saying. So our intent is we're trying to keep it easy and easy for younger modelers to be able to do. So just snaps in, snaps
Perfect.
together.
Now I don't have the instructions, so.
No, and we don't either.
Okay. But you don't need them though, because
They
you
come
built
with
this.
instructions. They do
Yeah,
come with
of
instructions.
course.
So
So where do
prob-
these little people sit?
So those guys will wind up going into the seats, which will go into the cockpit. But
Nice.
we've got to build
Okay.
some of the chassis that goes underneath it before we can get
Oh
to that.
golly, that might take a while. Show me how this comes together.
So basically, build your bottom hull, put in your lower windows.
Well, we gotta do
Hold on.
this.
Actually,
These people need a place
actually,
to go.
This part laying
Uh-oh.
out here is missing the lower windows. Those are
Okay.
the uppers.
Alrighty. Well, maybe it's a convertible. Let's say it's a convertible.
So,
But they don't need it. They like the fresh space air in their face.
so
Okay.
windows they'll all just snap into it. This is basically a self-contained sound and
Oh, yes.
LEDs and all
Okay,
that stuff. It's all
right.
pre-assembled, so
Okay.
there's no worrying about electronics or any
Here
of
we
that
go.
kind of stuff.
We got the roadmap.
There you go. The instructions
also
are
wanna-
all real simple and easy to follow. We tried to make it so that way, younger modelers who are just, maybe
Or
this is their
people
first one they're
starting
ever
out.
building,
Yes.
can make it easy for them to follow.
Now, how are you at putting together, let's say, an IKEA coffee table?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I just did that not too long
Okay.
ago.
I thought you would be. Okay. All right. So I want to find these little guys a place to go. Here's their
Okay,
seats. Can
so-
I put them in the seats?
Yeah, you go ahead, put them in the
Okay.
seat.
Okay. This is like that scene, remember in one of the first movies where he was like, "It's a trap." Admiral Akbar, he was driving one of the spaceships. He's like, "It's a trap."
You know your
the
Star
fish
Wars.
man. Well,
All right.
And then that actually snaps in right up here on top.
okay.
And then this is the dashboard and all of that with all their controls are on it, which snaps in right over the top of that there for you.
Okay. All right.
And then that whole thing.
See, we're getting it together here. They've got a place to go.
That whole thing can just kind of set right down into the,
Okay. That is great. Okay. Perfect. We don't just construct all of it. I just wanted them
Sure.
to sit down.
Right,
They look
right.
like they were tired. Okay. Perfect. All right. This is great, though.
so yeah, the whole thing kind of goes together, simple, snap
Yeah.
together. Once it's done, it's pretty nice and sturdy and
Mm-hmm.
will hold up to handling, unlike, your traditional modelers. People think in the back of their head that these things are fragile and you can just put them on a shelf. These things, you can actually handle them and
Right.
they'll hold up to a kid's type of handling.
Yeah. What was the most difficult vehicle to model?
That Star Destroyer.
Okay.
That was a
Is it
lot
this?
of work.
This is the Imperial Star
There's
Destroyer.
a lot of detail all over that thing, and every little line, bump, wire, pipe
Wow.
detail on there was all done individually, and it took a long, long time. That was a challenge.
Yeah. Wow. So do you guys go ahead, Lou?
I was just say there's definitely a balance between art and science in putting these together.
Yeah.
You need to understand the science to be able to work the software and the engineering side of it, but then to capture these details and to draw those things in there, there's definitely an artistry aspect to it.
I would say so. Yes, it's so creative. And then here I can take it
Go
back.
ahead.
You're doing
You got
such a
it.
great job because I want to ask you some more questions. So
Sure.
how far in advance of the movie coming out do you guys get a hold of the plans? Because I mean, you guys kind of get a peek behind the curtain before everybody else does, right?
We do. Our development times are usually about 18 months,
Wow.
but we're doing these in about 9.
Okay.
So it's a very crunched time schedule, but yeah, I would say about 9 months to a year out, we start getting into this. So we're starting to get into next year's movie already now.
And does that come out in December as well? Next year's
I don't know if
movie?
they've
I'm not
announced
quite
that.
sure. Do you guys
Yeah.
know?
I don't know. That
Not quite
I don't know
sure.
that we have an
Okay.
official date
I
yet.
see. I'm seeing you as like the oracle of everything. Now that you can build these, like there's other questions that are coming. That is so neat. And then people can pick. I know that I checked out the website. They're all available online, right?
They are. Yeah.
And so they could be at your house by the time Santa gets.
These are
comes
these are
around.
these are at Target. They're at Toys R Us, and of course on Amazon.
Excellent. Is there anything else I missed out on that people might want to know about? Do you guys have any questions at home? Everybody's saying they're so cool. And actually, one guy was asking if you guys have any job openings because he's a big Star Wars fan. So you can't blame the
Tell
guy
him
for
to email
trying.
his resume.
Okay. How's it going, everybody? You guys,
You getting questions from people?
yeah,
or-
I'm trying to look here. Tracy says her son Griffin loves these. And Tracy, they're so affordable too, they just told us. So that is fantastic. David Sanchez is the one who's looking for a job. Send your resume, David.
Go to our website. It's
I
right
know, right? This is great. All right. Well, I'll leave you guys be, and then you guys can watch the video over and over till your heart's content. And I will also put on the post the website for Revell. So if you guys are interested in purchasing any of these, you can go ahead and do that right away as well. But again, this one's my favorite. In case anybody's interested, the AdAct. He's awesome.
Head there.
Does he make a noise? Yes, he's coming for you. Or walking through the newsroom, one or the other. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Bye.